You know what's the hardest part of being a leader? It's not just coming up with a vision. The real challenge is making that vision come to life. It's taking an idea that's just in your head and turning it into something your entire team can see, believe in, and actually build together. That's where the real work begins. So, how do you pull that off?
This quote from Warren Bennis really just hits the nail on the head. Turning a vision into reality is tough, and it's the absolute core of what a leader does. But let's be real, in the day-to-day chaos, with a million things pulling you in different directions, where do you even start? Where should you focus?
It's a pretty powerful question, isn't it? If you had to just strip away all the noise and concentrate on only the 3 most impactful things you could do as a leader, what would they be? Well, it turns out there's a framework designed to answer exactly that. And here it is, the C.E.S Framework. It's beautifully simple. It suggests that a leader's most essential job is to give 3 critical gifts to their team: clarity, encouragement, and strategy. Let's break down how these 3 simple ideas work together to create something amazing. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through each of these 3 gifts one by one. We'll look at what they really mean, why they're so important, and how you can start giving them to your team. Let's dive right in. All right, first up is the foundational gift. This is the one that makes everything else possible: giving your team absolute clarity. I mean, think about it. We're surrounded by noise, distractions, and just a ton of uncertainty all the time. A leader's #1 job is to be the signal in all that static. The goal here is to cut through everything else, set a super clear direction, and help your team focus on what truly matters. But okay, how do you actually give clarity? Well, the fastest way is to just answer these 6 fundamental questions: who, when, where, why, what, and how. Seriously, how many times have you walked out of a meeting or read an email and had more questions than when you started? A leader who answers these up front stops that confusion dead in its tracks.
So this kind of breaks it down into 4 really practical steps to make your communication actually stick. 1. Use simple, everyday language. Ditch the jargon. 2. Be concise. That 5W1H framework is your best friend. 3. Focus only on what's critical. And 4, and this one is huge, whenever you can, visualize your message. Because what we see, we remember. And if you need proof, just look at this. After 3 days, people remember about 60% of what they see, but only 10% of what they hear. That's a 6 times difference. It just goes to show you that visuals aren't just a nice to have. They are absolutely essential if you want your message to land.
Okay, let's talk about the second gift. Once your team has clarity on where they're going, they need the fuel to get there, especially when things get tough. And that fuel? That's encouragement.
You know, you often hear this talked about as generating energy, but that can feel a little abstract. The C.E.S framework gets way more specific. It argues that the single most important kind of energy a leader can provide is actually courage.
Encouragement is all about giving your team the courage to face the unknown, to try new things. But it's even more about what you do when things go wrong. It's about being the person who picks them up, who keeps morale strong, and who says, okay, that didn't work, let's go again. That resilience is what builds a truly fearless team.
And creating this kind of courageous atmosphere really comes down to a leader's behavior. It means being fully present in the moment and really observing the team's dynamic. It means creating space for people to interact, staying flexible instead of rigid, and thinking about how you communicate, not just with your words, but with your body language and even the pauses you take. Okay, so your team is clear on the direction and they have the courage to move forward. What's the final piece of the puzzle? The map. You need to give them a strategy. This is the hard skill that ties it all together.
A strategy is really just the plan that connects your big vision to tangible, real-world results. Without it, even the most talented and motivated team can just end up going in circles. The strategy is the bridge that makes sure you actually get to where you want to go. But here's a key distinction that's so important. A bad leader makes a plan in secret and just hands it down. A good leader gives the strategy to the team. They open it up for feedback, for questions, for improvements. This doesn't just make the plan stronger, it gives the entire team real ownership over the outcome. And to deliver on that strategy, it requires 4 key actions from you. You have to lead by example. You have to help reshape how people think about challenges. You have to empower them to act, not just wait for permission. And this is so crucial. You have to guide them to see and celebrate the value of small wins along the way. So what happens when you combine these 3 gifts? When you consistently give clarity, encouragement, and strategy?
Well, you get something much bigger than just a successful project. You start to create a true growth organization. And you can see here how all the pieces connect. Clarity gives you shared understanding. Encouragement builds an environment where people are willing to be creative and take smart risks. And a successful strategy empowers people. It all works together to create an environment where everyone can really do their best work.
And that's the ultimate payoff. When you give these 3 gifts, you create a team where every single person knows exactly where they're going, and even more importantly, they know why it matters.
So, I'll just leave you with this question to reflect on. Thinking about your team today, right now, which of these 3 gifts do they need most from you? Is it clarity, is it encouragement, or is it strategy? Your answer will tell you exactly where you need to focus your leadership first.